Hello and welcome to Movies on the Side. This is Stephen Robles.
And this is Nate Baranowski.
And Nate surprised me by literally dressing in a suit for this episode, which is why you need to go to youtube.com/@moviesontheside to see it, because we are reviewing John Wick, the first chapter from 2014, starring Keanu Reeves. Chapter 4 is in theaters now. Nate.
Yes.
John Wick. Should I call you John? Should I just call you John for this episode?
No, not at all.
I feel like I also want to address... Are you going to talk like that the whole episode?
No, that's the last time.
I think you should keep doing it. So, two things. Number one, I'm standing up to record this, which is strange.
Oh, you're still standing, even after our bonus episode. I love the energy.
Cue the Elton John song. Yes, I'm still standing because I have a standing desk now. So if you're listening, you should go watch this episode.
Looking like a true survivor. Feeling like a little kid.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Also, I feel like this episode, we're going to talk about John Wick. There's two other John Wicks we could talk about. There's another one in the movies. There's a lot of John Wicks out there.
So many.
And, there's some things to say about this movie, but I also feel like this is going to be an episode about Keanu Reeves. Because I feel like John Wick is Keanu Reeves, is John Wick. You know what I'm saying?
That's correct.
That is correct. And I want to thank friend of the show, Jared Young. He actually got me this book a long time ago, and it is now finally coming into play. He actually got me, for your consideration, a book about Keanu Reeves.
Oh, so good.
And I don't know if we'll get to it. We can leave time for it. But there's actually a quiz in this book where you can answer 10 questions that reveals what kind of Keanu you are.
Oh, I would love that.
And we could do that. Maybe we'll save some time for that. But anyways, okay, we'll talk about that book. But anyway, John Wick. I had not seen it until last month. This came out 9 years ago?
2014. Yep.
And honestly, I never even heard much about it until, as we've discussed on many bonus episodes, TikTok. The first exposure I had to John Wick were the memes about the dog. Mm-hmm. All I see are these memes are like such and such killed a dog, and now whatever. And then John Wick shows up. So I don't know. Did you see this when it came out? Is this a recent phenomenon?
I did. I actually saw it pretty early on. It got if I remember correctly, it was one of those, I think, kind of a chill release. Like it wasn't crazy popular. It wasn't big, but then it gained as people started watching it, and it became one of those kind of like Taken, kind of sort of hit everyone with whoa, this is cool, and then
right.
Just like Taken, they're like, let's make some sequels, and then they became bigger and bigger and bigger, and now we're at 4?
We're at 4. Chapter 4 is in theaters. I feel like John Wick is really a vehicle for action. There is some story, there's some cool thing, but it's literally just a vehicle for action, which I want to say before I forget, I've watched many Keanu Reeves interviews, as you do, and he does all his own action. Right. He's very specific. He does his own action. So all the fight scenes are Keanu Reeves until he falls off a building, and that he leaves to the stuntmen.
Right.
So when he's falling downstairs, falling down a building, stuntmen do that. But he's doing all the action, which is impressive. Especially as you get to John Wick 2 and 3, that's a lot of fight scenes. It's a lot of choreography. And it's good. It's good action. I like it.
It feels like the kind of movie where someone, I don't actually know the behind the scenes. I have not done much research on this movie, but it feels like the person who was involved in making it maybe had a stunt choreography background, a fight choreography background or something, because it did feel like, action movies out there with guns, they're not realistic to how someone who actually would fight off 20 guys would be like. And this one is so viscerally different than everything that you had seen, maybe up until that point, that I feel like that was one of its biggest wow factors was, this is not James Bond. This is very, very different. And I need to put right up top here, while I'm still wearing the suit, because I'm about to take it off.
Nate's about to take the suit off as we
I don't wear a suit. Is we did Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes, we did.
I said, dear parents, don't watch this movie. Then we jumped to Big Hero 6.
Yeah, it's not that if you are a parent, you shouldn't watch Everything Everywhere.
We're narrow casting.
Our mom. Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm going to go. And then we did Big Hero 6 for all. E for everyone.
E for everyone.
And I go back to John Wick here. We're back here.
Don't watch it.
This movie is very, very violent. Not
very
scary,
violent.
not horror movie.
No.
Very, very violent.
it is also right on the edge of my limit for viscerality or like goriness.
Ooh,
you
wait!
know what I mean?
This movie's particularly, or John Wick 3, when a guy gets a knife through an eye slowly.
That one, trigger warning. Maybe, I don't know if I need to cut that out, but yeah, John Wick 3 was right on the edge. I imagine John Wick 4, but it never crosses. Like it never goes into. Which one of the guys in this movie is what's his name? Theon Greyjoy. I've never seen that show, but
Alfie Allen.
Alfie Allen is in this, but it doesn't go to the level of like those shows, gruesome.
Mm-mm.
And I think John Wick keeps it quick, except for the knife in the eye. But
it's not this first movie. This is like how Fast and Furious was while it was still about car racing and not about superheroes. While it was still, I would say that probably somewhere in the middle, we'll talk about Fast and Furious later, but I would say in the spectrum of things from the beginning to now, they found like, I think my perfect Baranowski line right around 4 or 5.
Right.
John Wick is definitely doing a similar thing where it goes from, wow, this is really cool, to let's see what new things we can do, to John Wick's now on a horse shooting people and now he's on that sort of thing.
Which is an awesome scene. Not this movie, but I was down for that scene.
But we're returning to the beginning of John Wick while it's still quasi-realistic. I think it's real. Like this one is like more realistic. Maybe the amount of punishment and stuff he takes, and then not the hotel. But we have not yet delved into the lore of John Wick like the other movies do, with like the super secret circle of 8 and whatever thing comes into play. The high table. This is still just a man's taking revenge on a guy and everyone around that guy who was involved in killing his dog, who his wife gave deceased wife gave as a, I don't know, once
like a
I don't know exactly how you do that transaction, gift. But how do you do that transaction? You like go to the shelter and you say like, hey, when you see this news,
deliver this dog on this date.
Deliver this
ship
dog.
the dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
It ships the dog. It did seem like it came in like a box. FedEx my dog.
FedEx the dog.
It's a beautiful dog.
It's great. It's a great dog. But you literally just summarized the whole plot. John Wick's wife dies of some disease before the movie, starts. She gives him a dog. Nate is literally getting undressed right now as we speak. He took the jacket off. He's taking the tie off. Wait a minute. Was that a polo shirt? I thought that was a dress shirt. Now he's golfing. Now he has a hat on. He's got the polo shirt on. He's now Tiger Woods in or what was that movie with Shia LaBeouf? Wasn't there a golf movie?
The Greatest Game Ever Played?
Yeah, that sounds about right. We forgot to do Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes for John Wick. Did you know? Did you look?
No.
I don't know. Okay, it's actually pretty good. What do you think critics gave John Wick?
78. 78.
86? Critics gave it 86.
Audience was 93.
Well, not yet. 81.
Okay.
I have a feeling the later John Wicks are going to be a higher
grows. Right.
But literally, the whole plot of the movie is just John Wick's dog gets killed by these people, and it's literally him just taking revenge. But I have to say, like, I watched some scenes again in preparation to record this, and like it is so cheesy how they build his like oeuvre of an assassin, like. The Russian
Baba
guy,
Yaga.
the Russian guy whose son killed his dog. He knows that John Wick is coming for his son now, and he calls John Wick, and John Wick says not a word.
So good.
Silence, and then he hangs it. He's like, "Please don't kill my son," basically, and John Wick says 0. This is after he's like breaking apart his basement to get all his weapons. And then John Wick just hangs up the phone, and then this guy's crony says, "What did he say?" And the Russian guy's like, "Enough." That's the whole.
This
cool.
Movie does such a good job of having other people recognize him and talk about him in such a way that like you don't want to get this guy. He's out of the game.
Don't mess with him.
If you mess with him, you're done. Everyone's done, and they do that before John Wick has any violence. He's not doing any violence yet.
We've only seen him get beat up. That's it.
Right. So he just
got beat up in his house.
Like they build it up so much. Like he is the one they go to kill the boogeyman, and like it is so good because everyone treats him like his name means something to him. Like
there's literally
he's
a
like
suit-up
Batman.
scene. When he's literally putting on his suit, we get like a slow motion belt. He gets the belt through the loops, his cufflinks. Yeah. Pretty epic. Also, I just want to say, this is basically a Christian movie because he's got a cross tattooed on his back with prayer hands. So I feel like this is right in line. With
Speaking
all
of its family friendliness,
yeah.
Speaking of its family friendliness, I do want to talk about fathers here because we're both dads, and I was thinking about this movie. What's his name? Vigo. The main bad guy. He's got his son. Yeah. His son, who's just a real piece of work, a real punk of like a young kid. I don't know.
Yes.
Anyway, and he gets so mad at his son, punches him a few times, but he's like the criminal master guy, and then his son is like the entitled rich kid, but also like up to no good, does all the dirty work.
Right.
He is so disappointed in his son that he would mess with John Wick, and he was like, you're a shameful, blah, blah, blah. I do have to say this. I do think that the main bad guy is not a great dad, and he is somewhat to blame for raising a son like the son that we see. I mean, he's not a good dude. Like, he's presented as having some sort of code or honor, but really he doesn't. And...
no.
I'm just saying he shouldn't be that hard on his son because he's the one who maybe was an absent criminal mastermind father and wasn't there to help Yosef.
The fact I did not have dad corner on my bingo card for this episode. I did not think you were going to talk about the dad, but
he's not a good dad. He's not a good dad. Can I say that? He's a bad dad.
He's a bad dad. That's all it is. He's a criminal mastermind bad dad. That's fine.
He's the guy who you deal with Mayhem. The Mayhem
from the commercial guy is literally in this movie.
He's playing the role.
He's playing the role, which is amazing. But listen,
I loved him every time. I just wanted him to turn at the camera and said, like, you could be better protected from Mayhem.
Willem Dafoe is in this movie. We have Adrian Palicki, I think, as Mrs. Perkins, the other assassin. So much good action, so many good assassins.
Lance Reddick, who tragically passed away recently, is the hotel manager. I love his character.
Yes. The hotel, like the idea of the hotel in this movie is that all of these assassins are a part of this like cabal, this circle of assassins. And like at any point, anyone might be fair game to be assassinated. But this one hotel is like the home base in Tag. Like if you as an assassin can get to this hotel, which John Wick does very speedily on a motorcycle, and then in other subsequent movies does in other ways, if you can get inside this hotel, you are supposedly safe. Like it is against the code to do any killing.
It is home base in Tag, absolutely.
I love the idea.
Time out. Don't kill me.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were telling me time out. I didn't. That threw me off. Anyway, I love all that. Yes, the hotel manager is amazing, Lance Reddick. I just love everything about that, and I think in later movies it even is used to greater effect. But I don't know. I feel like I want to talk about Keanu Reeves. What do you want? What do you think?
I want to talk a little bit more about the plot, just a little bit more.
Okay, I feel like
because
we've discussed the entire plot, but go ahead.
Well, no, the plot is so very simple.
Yes.
But this is a movie with a ton of action scenes. But the time between the action scenes, I think it does a really great job of having slow, melancholy moments, because what is kind of lost in later movies, but is very present in here, is the mourning the loss of his wife. And so he's got these like slow times. Yeah. And at the end of the movie, we're not going to spoil it. I'm not going to even say spoil it. That's the plot. He gets a new puppy. He gets a new dog. And there are these sweet moments in between him doing 85 headshots. And I kid you not, the body count in this movie is
so high.
So high.
It's so high.
So high.
No, but I agree. I agree.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I agree, and I think you do feel that because supposedly he got out of the assassin game. Like, he wasn't wanting to kill people. He was happy just living in his house. He was sad his wife died, but he wasn't going to go back into the business. And so the fact that this drags him back in, I don't know, but I believe it. I believe that he is so mad about the dog and his car. It was his dog and his car because they stole his car. But he literally kills hundreds of people in a single movie.
John Leguizamo is in this movie as like the car guy, and he's like, here's John Wick. Yes. And he's like, get out.
Yes.
I don't want this.
I find Keanu Reeves fascinating as a person, as everything. I'm going to try and do something fancy, okay? This is apropos of nothing, but he did an interview on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And I just find, and again, I feel like this character, John Wick, like, is Keanu Reeves. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of dialogue in these movies, especially the later movies. Like, he says like just a few words. He's literally just action all the time. But I don't know, it just feels like him. But anyway, Keanu Reeves is fascinating. This interview with Stephen Colbert, he asked him a question, and let me see if I can actually, let's see if this actually works. Let me show you what he says. I don't know if it's going to play. It's not going to play.
So what are we going to do?
What happens to you if you don't do this?
Well, it's the end of the universe. It's the end of time and space continuum.
So it's
all over.
You're facing your own mortality and the mortality of all existence.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you think happens when we die, Keanu Reeves?
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
Like Keanu Reeves, he's amazing. Keanu Reeves is amazing. And I want to read just part of this book because there's many like conspiracies about Keanu Reeves. Are you familiar with any of these?
No.
Okay. Keanu Reeves, some people think Keanu Reeves is a vampire because he seemingly doesn't age, even over decades. Related, they think he's immortal. Some people think Keanu Reeves is a time traveler because he's also very secretive in his personal life. You know, he doesn't really give a lot. There's also, I don't know if you're familiar with, if you see Keanu Reeves in pictures with fans who are girls, he never touches them. There's actually articles that have like pictures of Keanu Reeves, and if he has his arm like around a girl, his hand is open, not touching the person. Even Dolly Parton. He has a picture with Dolly Parton, and I will put it somewhere in the show notes. And like he always has his hand like flat out, like just does not even want to chance anything. And I don't know, just there's a whole bunch of weird theories about him, but I don't know. I just find him fascinating as a character. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
A character or a person or both?
Both. Because I feel like John Wick is Keanu Reeves. Like those I said at the beginning. Like he is this character.
Hopefully with much less murder.
I don't think he kills people in real life. No, I don't think he does that.
But other than that.
Just the brooding, like he does feel deeply, like you were saying, the plot of this movie, like he feels deeply about the wife he lost, about the dog he lost. And so he feels deeply. He's very loyal. You know, loyal, we see in later movies, like to the thing that he's a part of or whatever, but also to the people that he has made promises to. So, I don't know. I like this movie. I like him in this movie. Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's so, for a guy that at the end of the day, they make a movie about an assassin. He feels like the good guy. And he's definitely...
No, he's a good guy.
You think he's a good guy? He came from a life of being an assassin. You can't be an assassin to be a good guy.
He's not the bad guy.
Well, I mean, like in this movie, he's the good guy. But ultimately, they make someone whose life is not a good guy life and turn it into like, obviously he's the good guy. You root for him. Okay. But you always want that the people that he offs in this movie, which is everybody.
Now listen. Listen.
In your mind, you say to yourself, they're all part of the bad criminal world. It's like the way that you see... Listen, I never watched The Rock as Black Adam, but I assume when he kills a lot of guys, and you're supposed to say, these are bad dudes.
But I also feel like Keanu only kills bad dudes.
Keanu?
he only killed people that...
Or John Wick. Wait, hold on a second.
That's right. Both and. John is Keanu is John. That's right. He only kills people that were trying to kill him, except for the one dude he was trying to exact revenge on, which was Theo Greyjoy, the son.
Right.
Like, that was the only person he was after. And whatever
he didn't even let him
talk.
He didn't even let him explain anything. That was all business.
I love that one moment, though, where he like pulls up. It's like right before he goes into the bathhouse to get the guy, he like holds at gunpoint the bouncer guy. And he's like, why don't you take the night off? And he's like, thank you, sir. And like, he's merciful. It's not like he's just killing for fun.
No, it's definitely not for fun.
He's got morals. Anyway. Is there anything you want to say about this movie, or should we do this?
I want to say about Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
I agree with you. I want to say I agree with you. I think that behind the scenes, there are a few actors that I would feel like I would want to sit down and just hear about their life from their perspective more than Keanu Reeves. There are probably a few, but there's something about it kind of feels like he's in the game of Hollywood. It feels like he's figured some things out and has his priorities aligned to exactly what he wants them to be. If that makes sense. He doesn't feel like he's wasting life hours doing things he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, I think you're right. And like, I mean, obviously he's at a place now where he can do the movies he wants to do, not do the movies he doesn't want to do. He would say he would want to revise his role as Constantine, like of all the roles he's ever done. Stephen Colbert asked him that, and so that was interesting. But yeah, I do feel. Did you ever see we talked about The Last Matrix, right? The Matrix,
I saw
Resurrections.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of wish that didn't happen. But anyway, but that's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Watching this movie made me want to watch more Keanu Reeves movies.
Correct.
Have you seen the one where he lives at the house and sends letters through like a magical time traveling mailbox with Sandra Bullock?
The
Lake House?
Was it like this? I think maybe I've seen it a long time ago. That's actually one of the questions in this little quiz here.
Oh, I might be Lake House Keanu.
So
anyway,
I never saw.
I
Johnny
will continue
Mnemonic.
watching these. I will continue watching these. I will continue watching these movies, and I will continue watching whatever Keanu Reeves does from now until.
I'm not going to see Chapter 4 in theaters because I want the ability to like skip forward 15 seconds if he's like sticking his thumb in somebody's eye. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to skip. Just in case, I'm not going to see it in the theaters. But
for sure. Yeah, right at
when
the
it streams
edge.
on HBO Max, I'll see it.
I do also feel like Keanu Reeves might be somebody who we're only going to get in acting roles for another 8 to 10 years, and then he'll just retire and just...
He'll just disappear. I mean, he'll literally just
Baba Yaga.
float away. Yeah, Baba Yaga. That's a good name. It's a good name. All right, can we rate this movie and do this quiz real quick?
Let's do it.
On a scale of 0 to 5 dogs, because, I mean, I don't know, unless you do, like, bullets. 0 to 5 dogs. I mean, there's a dog at the end, too.
Dogs.
5 dogs. It's a little tough because I've seen the latter ones, and so I think it colors my review of this one, although this one is pretty good.
Oh, by the way, John Wick owes his life to Willem Dafoe throughout this whole movie.
Absolutely.
He would be toast without Willem Dafoe. So, as great as he was, he really needed Willem.
He needed Willem, and Willem was great. I enjoyed. Did not know he was in the movie when I went to see it, and that was a pleasant surprise. I'm going to give it 3.5 dogs. 3.5 dogs for John Wick. What do you say?
I hate the fact that you made the dog a half. I hate that. That's no good.
3.5 hot dogs.
Oh, we'll do hot dogs. That's good.
Sure.
I really like this movie. I was going to say I might do 3.5 as well.
3.5.
Maybe 4. Let me think.
4 felt a little like...
No, 3.5. This movie does everything right that is needed in an action movie. 1, you root for the good guy a lot. 2, the bad guy is super bad, and you want him to get it. You want the son to get it. Yeah. You want everyone to get it, and you're rooting right along, and you just you don't mind at all. So that's 2. And 3, the pacing of it is perfect. It goes super high action, and then you get a moment to breathe while John Wick gets his side stitched up or whatever. You get some time, and then the next scene starts. And if you have not seen like a hard, gritty, very violent action movie, this is the one to do it. This is the one to see.
All right, we're going to find out which Johnny we are. There's 10 questions. I don't know if we'll get to all of them. Do you have something to write down? Do you have your phone? Well, no, your phone's your camera. Do you have something you can write down? The letter? You literally have, of course, you're an artist. You have a literal notepad. I'm sure he has some writing utensil. Nate is going to get his writing utensil. Listeners at home, viewers at home, if you would like to play along, I'm going to ask questions. There's going to be 5 answers, A, B, C, D, or E, and you are going to choose the letter that most closely you identify with. So I'm going to ask a question, read the 5 responses, write down the letter that you answer, and that will reveal which Keanu you are. Number 1, a machine appears to whisk you through time to ensure that you pass your history class. You, A, use it to go back to med school instead of elite super assassin school and specialize in rare diseases. All of them. B, watch it sullenly for any sudden movement while smoking your 9th cigarette that hour. C, this needs to be brought to the FBI. I assume that's a reference that I don't get. Letter D, prod it to deduce what manner of device this is. You're sure nothing could go wrong. E, finally, you can act that needlessly complicated, nefarious scheme you've always wanted to try. You know, the one with the goats.
Boom.
Okay, where's your letter? You got yours down? All right,
yep.
You got mine down? All right, going to number 2. The woman you love lives 2 years in the future, and you can communicate with her only through a mailbox at your father's lake house in the Chicago suburbs. You, A, stare at it in beautiful, moody anguish, perhaps while casually garroting someone to pass the time. B, know well enough not to trust messages from the beyond. You leave the Chicago suburbs forever, never stopping to wonder what might have been. C, wait for her, knowing that nothing, not even sociopathic former friends, can stop your love. D, write polite daily missives about your thoughts on the queer customs of the locals, why they cross themselves in your presence, and why that eccentric old man keeps on stopping by to stroke your neck. E, decide to ruin her chances at love with any other by staging an elaborate trickery to besmirch her good name.
Done. Ready.
Okay, you got that one. All right, number 3.
How many of these are there?
There's 10. We might just do 5. We'll see.
Okay.
3. Your friend dispassionately confesses to killing his girlfriend and shows you and Crispin Glover her body. Crispin Glover goes into hysterics and makes everyone promise not to narc. You, A, kill the killer and put his body on display. Kill the guys who come to take it down. Put their bodies on display too. Stand back. Admire your work. B, do a quick check of literal hell to see what's up with the guy. C, narc. You work for the FBI. D, place a tender hand upon the killer's shoulder, look him square in the eyes, and attempt to detect if his soul was moved by himself alone or because of a manipulation by an evil man who takes what he wishes from the world, whether he is granted permission or no. E, smile. Thou shalt use this for blackmail later. That's a weird one. That's tough. Okay, got it. Number 4, strange things are afoot at the Circle K, which is a gas station if you didn't know, listeners. You, A, nod grimly. B, laugh mirthlessly. C, stare longingly and with a pent-up desire which you are only beginning to comprehend. D, stutter nervously. E, flee quietly. Got that?
Got it.
Number 5, you learn you are the one. You, A, were once, now you just want to retire. B, no, and you hate it. C, thought so, and you wish you could do skydiving with a special someone to celebrate. D, gasp, really? You can't wait to tell your girlfriend. E, no, and thou dost love it. Okay.
Good.
All right, let's go on. Number 6, your local NFL team is on strike, and a strike team is being assembled to make the playoffs. You, A, are pressured via a blood oath that you tried and failed to get out of to kill them all with a pencil. B, smirk. People always have such a problem with their heroes being switched up on them. C, make heart eyes at the coolest member of your new team, the one with the messy blonde hair and Zen philosophy. He seems totally trustworthy and is probably your new best friend. D, are not sure what to make of these American ball sports, but shall give it a jolly good try all the same. E, hire someone to knife the striking team whilst they carouse in a bawdy house. Now you are the team and you alone. Wahaha. Okay.
Ready?
Yep. Number 7, you are trapped on a bus that will explode if it drops below 50 miles per hour.
Speed.
Love Speed. Great movie. We should do that one. A, drive the bus, spare the innocents, kill the bad guys. B, start smoking. You always hated the bus. C, yes, this is what you were trained to do. You are going to look so cool, though obviously resolving this dangerous situation is what is most important to you. Ahem. D, this is really beyond your comprehension and you've spent time with vampires. E, sit back, relax, and watch thy monstrous plan unfold.
Good.
Okay. 8, your ability to never lose a case gets you hired at a hotshot law firm in New York City where you learn the literal devil is your father boss. You A, have faced worse. Papa doesn't last 5 minutes after your discovery. B, sigh with resigned exasperation. This explains everything. C, check if the devil's face is really a mask. This has Bodhi written all over it. D, shudder to your core. Why can you not escape these immortal fiends, those who would drag you to the very pit with their wretched desires? E, are delighted.
Good. Number 9.
Number 9, we can make it. Your best friend confesses his love to you with delicate awkwardness, for you both know you have only platonic feelings for him. You A, silently embrace him with a gentleness you have exercised previously with only your wife and dog. B, tell him the only thing you love is the noodle shop you went to one time. Hold his gaze for a tender beat, then break the moment sharply by offering up one of your smokes. C, realize your platonic feelings run far deeper and truer than anything you've ever known, and you feel more thrilled than when you're in the tube. D, smile politely and burn with confusion. E, enjoy the moment, then leave him in Italy when your father dies and you stand to inherit. I know
10.
these are all movies. Number 10. You must coach a ragtag group of youths to a sports victory to pay off your gambling
Bad News
debts.
Bears? Is that what this is?
I don't know. You A, train them in the way of the gun and the sword. The other team won't see it coming. B, train them to defend themselves against the force of darkness. There are things that are more important than some dumb game. C, train them with ruthless efficiency on the field and make sure every line is filled out on every sheet of their homework. D, train them to play like gentlemen on and off the field, as this is the best way to prepare oneself for the rigors of life. E, train them to do your dirty work. The people of the city truly felt that you were safe to care for their youth. Haha, the fools.
All right, I'm ready.
Which letter do you have the most of? That is the question. See, I don't know. Oh, man, I don't know what movie this is from. Okay, which letter do you have the most of?
3 C's. That's
the one you have the most of?
Uh-huh.
Wow, okay. 3 C's. You are Johnny Utah, the raddest John.
Oh, is that the guy from The Replacements, maybe?
Is that a replacement? I'm not sure. We need to look it up. I'm actually D, Jonathan Harker, the Vladdest John. I had the most D's. I'm not sure what that is. Let's go real quick to IMDb and see. I haven't seen these Keanu Reeves movies.
Oh, John. Point Break.
That's the one you are?
Yep. Yes.
Point Break. I haven't seen that one.
Point Break.
Jonathan Harker.
He's like the FBI agent that goes in with a bunch of like bank robbers that are also like daredevils, I think.
That's Jonathan Harker?
That's Johnny Utah. It's me.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I don't know who that is. Okay, we'll have to look it up. But that's who I was. So there you go. Let us know who you were, listeners, on Instagram. Go to Add Movies on the Side. Let us know what John you were. A was John Wick. If you had mostly A's, you are John Wick, the saddest John. Mostly B's, you are John Constantine, the maddest John. Mostly C's, you are Johnny Utah, the raddest John. I feel like that makes sense for you, Nate. Mostly D's, you are Jonathan Harker, the Vladdest John. I don't know what that Vladdest means. I have to look that up. Mostly E's, you are Don John, the baddest John. Those are all the Johns.
All right.
So tell us what John you are. I'm going to have to see that movie. Tell us what John you are in the comments on Instagram at Movies on the Side. Catch our bonus episodes. You can subscribe at patreon.com/Movies on the Side or directly on Apple Podcast. Talked about Easter candy on this episode. Also, I stood up. You could watch me live stand up with my standing desk.
Great standing energy.
What did we talk about? We talked about, eating in the office. Very important topic. Very important. And, let us know what movies, if you want us to do movie suggestions, comment on Instagram as well. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, too, by the way. At Movies on the Side is the username. That is all. Thanks for tuning in. And as we always say.
So, yeah, I'm pretty angry right now.
Wait, is that from John Wick?
I think that was. I don't know if the line's correct. Yeah, I think you could say I'm pretty angry. I can't do it.
So you started sounding like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger.